making our social media presence large and giving great articles and advice about entrepreneurship and being a small business. I'll also give a plug, if you ever can't make it in person, they live stream and record each of these sessions. So you can go on Facebook and check it out online. So big thank you to them. Of course, a big thank you to the Round Rock Chamber. They were really the ones who first came and started this entire organization. So big thank you to them. And lastly, to the city of Round Rock. They're hosting us in this beautiful room today. Real quick, another show of hands. How many of you is this your first time in this room? Wow. Nice. Perfect. I love it. It looks very cool. It's got a lot of air, got some windows, so I'm a big fan of this space. That's my plug for us to come back next month. And lastly, a big thank you to Corner Bakery for supplying the coffee and all the great muffins that we have today. So thank you to them as well. Showcases kind of some of the year that we've had, and what I really like is seeing the different presenters. They come from different industries, they come from different levels of starting their business, so I think it's been a great year of kind of getting a breadth of business dilemmas and problems, and then the insights that y'all have given as a community have really blown my mind. I leave this meeting every Wednesday and go to my job feeling so much more refreshed and excited to tackle the challenges that come my way. So I also kind of want to extend a thank you to you for showing up and being present and giving your insights each month. And with that, I'll invite Amy up to kind of give us some more stats about our last year.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We have had an incredible year. For those of you first-timers, which is about half the room, by show of hands, I did want to talk a little bit about what is 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is a program that was developed by the Kauffman Foundation to bring and develop communities of entrepreneurs. And they really focus on startups. We want to bring those new companies together to exchange ideas, share their problems, identify solutions for those problems, but it really is a platform to bring people together. And the goal of the program is, it's not a sales pitch, it's not an investor pitch, it's to come in and tell people what your company is about, but also to have you share what problems, what are you struggling with, what are the issues that are keeping you from growing your business. And then the beautiful thing is that the audience becomes your advisory committee. They're the ones that can, right there, real time, give you advice and guidance on how to overcome those barriers. So it's a program that the Chamber brought to the community a year ago because we wanted, in our work of developing the entrepreneurship ecosystem, we wanted to make sure that there was a strong foundation, and it's working. It is working. I do have a few stats to share with you. There we go. So over the last year, we have received 18 presenter applications. Of those, 12, so great majority, are in the launch or scaling phase, and 17 of those applicants are under 5 years old. Those companies are under 5 years old. So that shows us that we are hitting our target market. To date, we've invited 13 companies to present, and 50% of those companies have been tech companies, which I also thought was an important point to share. And I've spent all of my career in nonprofits, so I also think it's important to share that one of those companies that presented was a nonprofit, because after all, nonprofits are businesses too. So Something else I want to share is that when we first started 1 Million Cups Round Rock, the first few presentations were made by companies that are based outside of Round Rock. And that's okay, because 1 Million Cups, called the 1 Million Cups Nation by the Kauffman Foundation, it's a national program. So we expect to see companies that are outside of our community every now and again. But what we've seen over time is that more and more the presenters are, the applicants are local companies, and that's exactly what we were hoping to see. So I can tell you that the program is working, and we're seeing exactly what we wanted to see. We have had over 700 attendees, which is incredible. And we've had unwavering support from our policymakers. We have Mr. Mayor here, who was there at our first event, and now he is here again. We've had support from the local school district, from the surrounding colleges and universities, which is amazing. And of course, the business community, which is fantastic. And then last but not least, we have an amazing organizer team, and you'll get to meet them here in a few minutes. But without their dedication and their support and their organizing, we wouldn't be here today. So I want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you for everything you do to keep us going. And it's not just one day at a month. This is like an ongoing job. So thank you all very, very much. We also spent some time reaching out to our presenters to ask them, tell us about your experience. What did you like most about presenting at 1 Million Cups Round Rock? And what they told us was 2 words, coaching and audience. Here are a few comments that they made about the coaching. I will tell you that one of the presenters shared with us, he's a serial 1 Million Cups presenter. He said, I didn't really think I needed the coaching because I've been through this so many times, but it was so meaningful and so helpful. Keep doing it, even when the presenters tell you they don't need any coaching. And then here's some feedback we heard about our audience. I will tell you that a couple of the presenters have shared, especially those serial 1 Million Cups presenters, have shared that they have not seen another 1 Million Cups audience like the one that they've seen here in Round Rock. You all are passionate, you're genuine, and you truly care about helping entrepreneurs succeed. And that is something that is priceless, and we definitely thank you all, because you all, it's you bringing that to the table. Want to thank you very, very much for your support. And then, here is my favorite feedback that we received. Presenting at 1 Million Cups Round Rock was a great experience, and it has made me a better entrepreneur overall. That is why we're doing what we're doing. So where do we go from here? Well, as much as I'd love for our team to have a mic drop moment this morning, the truth is we're just getting started. We have to continue to evolve our program. We have to make it better. We have to make it bigger for the presenters, for the audience, and for our community as a whole. We have to continue to seek opportunities for growth. For example, Joshua is going to be representing our chapter, our community, at the 1 Million Cups Organizer Summit at the end of the month. And at the top of his to-do list is to connect with other coaches from across the country to see what are they doing that we're not doing. Even though our coaching, we hear is top part, we want to make it better. We're also going to be working on our engagement efforts with our presenters and our audience. We want to make sure that we are supporting businesses from all industries. So 1 Million Cups Round Rock is only one piece of the puzzle. We are only one program in our city's young entrepreneurial ecosystem. So what I would like to see as the lead organizer of this incredible group is that we start engaging stakeholders on a broader level. I think it's important that we help drive the development of our ecosystem. And we have so many questions to ask and to answer. For example, what is our identity? What is our industry focus? Do we need to focus on fast growth companies? And of course, all of the other issues that are critical to entrepreneurs: capital, diversity, quality of life, education, and policy issues. We have to talk about those things. So the bottom line is, we're just getting started, and we are so excited that you're here joining us and moving forward. So now, I would love for you all to meet our organizers.
Wait for the team to come up here and go through some slides. All right. First up, we have Celicia. So we need a quick second to read the slide. I'm not going to go through reading them all. Thank you, Celicia, for your participation. Lewis, President of Bancorp South. Josh, Marketing Director at Don Quick. Of course, Amanda, who's already myself. Cynthia, Florence. Jeff from T-Works Co-working out of Cedar Park and soon to be Austin. Of course, you've met Amy. Adina is not here with us today, but she's the owner and director of Texas Spanish Academy. Jeremy. Jennifer from the Round Rock Chamber. And that's it. Thank you. I have to say, the feedback we've gotten also from other 1 Million Cups presenters is that we have probably the best organized and strongest organization team maybe in the country. I don't know. I mean, there's 120 of these, but just an incredible group of people that month in and month out bring a level of passion to 1 Million Cups at Round Rock, and it is just amazing to be involved with all these individuals. So thank you again, everybody. And now I'd like to introduce Mayor Morgan. And before I start with that, I do want to say that to piggyback off of what Amy was talking about as far as entrepreneurship at Round Rock, I've been a Round Rock resident since 1997, so I would almost consider myself an old timer in this city now. But I've watched Round Rock grow, and the real cool thing about Round Rock and us being in Williamson County, and we've got several communities east to west and northwest, we really are leading the entire Williamson County community in Round Rock. And it's really, really exciting to know that the city, the chamber, and all the businesses involved in this organization are going to continue to push leading that. And the Round Rock Chamber does a tremendous job, obviously bringing in businesses from out of town, but also now with this new pillar of entrepreneurship. And if you haven't had a chance to go out to the Round Rock Chamber, they have 7 pillars that they are focusing on, and it's just an amazing thing happening. I'd also like to point out that we've got a tremendous group of individuals in here from Round Rock ISD, and there are some great things going on bottom up within the school district. We had 2 presenters this year that were from Round Rock ISD that built businesses while they were in school. So it is just amazing to see the top down and the bottom up, all of us working together to build the entrepreneurship ecosystem, Round Rock leading the way, and obviously we want to work with all our other local partners, but we're leading the way, and it's really, really exciting to be involved with that. So thank you everybody from the city to the chamber. And now I want to bring up Mayor Morgan. Mayor Morgan is a Leadership Round Rock graduate. If you've never been involved in Leadership Round Rock, I highly recommend it. I think I took the class right before the mayor, along with Brent Campbell from Don Quick. He's previously served on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Chaska YMCA Board of Directors, Leadership Round Rock Planning Board. And really, when we met with the mayor, when he first came into the first 1 Million Cups Round Rock, we had a meeting with him afterwards, and it's really, really exciting to have the mayor and also the rest of the city backing this entrepreneurship process. So with that, I want to welcome Craig Morgan, and I think he's got a proclamation.
You can take that ugly picture. I don't want to look at myself. I see it every day. That's why I got a beard. I do incognito. First of all, I want to, it was a year ago that I got to go and welcome the first group. And unfortunately, because of my schedule, I don't know if I've made any other ones, so I'm making the year anniversary. But I want to commend the team again, so I want y'all to stand up. I mean, they're really shy about it, but they need to be really proud of themselves. For doing this. Everybody knows a little bit about our biggest entrepreneur probably in this area. It's what put Round Rock on the map. Everybody know it, right? Started in a dorm. And now it sets out with 14,000 employees in Round Rock, Texas. And I know some people won't like this, but he was turned down from a city to the south of us, but Round Rock welcomed him with open arms. Woo! And so we can benefit from that. And so we're looking always for that next entrepreneur. But with that, I'm going to take a little, since this is our building, and I get to sit behind here, I'm going to take a little leeway today on something. So I want Tiffany Harrison to come up here with Round Rock ISD real quick. Now it's a little exciting news. I'll finish up real quick.
Thank you, Mayor Morgan. When I woke up this morning, I didn't know I'd be coming to speak before you. I'm a marketing teacher at Round Rock High School. I'm a proud product of Round Rock ISD. I've been here since 1992, and I graduated from Round Rock High School as well. But I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 16 years old. And so last year, my students, OWNs, competed through junior achievement through the highest levels. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we just got back from Atlanta, Georgia. They competed in Washington, D.C. They competed here in Austin at Dell Technologies, and they were very successful. But success doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's because of the support of the community. So I'd like to thank 1 Million Cups Round Rock for giving them a voice and for giving them a place to come and flex their entrepreneurship muscles. It was really funny. My students presented in June, I think, and when they presented, people said, "Oh, that's so wonderful, the round of future entrepreneurs." And I just kind of laughed because they were current entrepreneurs. They had started their own business and they're very successful. Even though they're in college now, they're continuing. So what I wanted to say, what I wanted to put before you is that it's so important to support this class of entrepreneurs that are up and coming right now. We have students from Round Rock High School, students from McNeil High School. We all wave here. Right. And they are current and future entrepreneurs. One thing that we're doing at Round Rock High School is this year we're starting an incubator. It's in the very ground level stages. I had 11 students in the entrepreneurship class, all boys, no girls. This year I have 13 students, 12 boys, 1 girl. But I know there are about 3,600 students at Round Rock High School. One student that's only a junior, Demetri, raise your hand. He owns a business called Soul Society. It's an apparel business. And so every student's not going to be able to get into a class. Their schedules are really busy, but what we wanted to do at Round Rock High School is we wanted to create a culture of entrepreneurship where students could get access to and support for entrepreneurship. So this year we're launching an incubator. It'll be a space where all 3,500 students at Round Rock High School can come, can learn about entrepreneurship, can be connected to some of the amazing entrepreneurs in our community. So we look forward to doing that, and we've been working with Amy. She's been super supportive. The Chamber's been incredible. No Time for Social's been incredible in supporting. So I just want to say thank you, and please continue to look for things from your current and future entrepreneurs that are students. Thank you.
I just put that on her about 2 minutes ago. But I get excited about it. Let me tell you why. And I don't know if you got to sit through my State of the City last week. As everybody knows, I'm going to take another liberty for what I want to say. There's a school bond package that is up in November. All right? And it is crucial that this passes. Because this generation is what's going to be our future. And I want future leaders to have the potential to do what Ms. Harrison's want to do. And if a bond fails, guess what? Things get cut. This is an A-rated school district with a AAA bond rating. And just like the city, is it perfect? No. But you know what? They're producing results, and they're producing these students that are awesome. And so I ask everybody to make sure that you get out, you look at this bond, you study it, you examine it, get away from the noise, and do what's right for these kids. And that's why I'm openly and publicly am endorsing this bond, because it is critical. When we go on recruiting trips, the number one question we get is, what's your public education system like? Always. It never, ever fails. What are we going to bring our families to? And if our schools start failing, your city will start failing. Because that's the, as I said the other day, the soul of society is public education. That's passed from one generation to the next. I've also had the opportunity to recently talk to Mike. When I sat down with the team, I'd go on an inner city visit to Denver. And Denver really has a great ecosystem in place. And there's other suburbs that have a solid ecosystem in place. And when I came back, I told Mike, I said, look, we need to get something going in Round Rock. I know what goes on in Austin, but we have people that want to be entrepreneurs that live right here in Round Rock. And yes, it's important to bring the jobs, and it's important to bring the big companies to Round Rock. But when you can grow your own, how awesome is that? Because they give back to the community, and it's just an awesome thing to watch. So I've committed. Am I seeing Mary Jane by chance? Good. Cut to Facebook for a second. I've committed to our chamber president that we're going to look at two other things this year and really have a focus on, and I will be pushing for funding for it. And that's workforce development and entrepreneurship. So, I know it's the government. It takes time. I know it wears me out. But I think we've got the support to continue to make this program grow, continue to build an ecosystem, and make the investment, because I think it's important to our community. If you can't see these kids out here, that ought to sell you right there. And I commend you all for what you do. I have about this much creativity in my mind. So continue to do that. So I want to read a proclamation. Who am I going to give this to? Y'all want to all come up, or who wants to come up?
Let's do it.
All right. Whereas 1 million Cups is a free program developed by the Kauffman Foundation to help build startup communities nationwide, and whereas 1 million Cups engages, educates, and connects local entrepreneurs in a structured and meaningful manner, and whereas the Round Rock Chamber sought the 1 million Cups program for our community in order to establish a more connected network of entrepreneurs, and whereas 1 million Cups Round Rock held its inaugural monthly event on October the 4th, 2017, and whereas 1 million Cups Round Rock's free monthly events provide an opportunity for early stage startups to engage in an experiential learning environment in which they share and receive feedback on their ideas, strategies, and challenges. And whereas the City of Round Rock takes special notice and acknowledges the positive impact of 1 million Cups Round Rock has on our community, its citizens, and our entrepreneurial ecosystem. Now, therefore, I, Craig Morgan, Mayor of the City of Round Rock, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 3rd, 2018 as 1 million Cups Round Rock Anniversary Day in the City of Round Rock, and urge all citizens to congratulate 1 million Cups Round Rock and join me in celebrating their first anniversary. Proclaim this third day of October 2018, Craig Morgan, Mayor of the City of Round Rock.
Gift for Mayor Morgan, once he's done.
Uh-oh.
And And for your support, Mayor Morgan, over the past year and the city's support, we are going to make you an honorary organizer of 1 million cups. And we're passing this great shirt on to you. We got some collared shirts, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
There we go. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Alan Mayer. Alan is the Senior Vice President of Commercial Customer Advocacy, which is part of the Chief Customer Office at Dell. In this role, he develops programs and solutions that really help and advocate for our customers. And these are customers of all sizes across the globe. Alan is also very civic and community-minded. He serves as a board member on the Literacy Coalition for Central Texas, and he's also a big sponsor of the MARC program at Dell. MARC, one thing at Dell is we love acronyms. So MARC stands for Men Advocating Real Change. It is a program that really sponsors diversity and inclusion in the workforce. So without further ado, Alan.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to the whole 1 Million Cup program and your 1 year anniversary. This doesn't just happen. It's a lot of work and effort. Also, Mayor Morgan, congratulations. Thank you. Also to the Round Rock Chamber of Commerce and the organizing team. Thank you for allowing us to participate in our presence here. And also to Amanda and Jamie, thank you both for your leadership and participation and in facilitating the session today. I am excited to spend some time with you all and maybe just educate you a little bit about the programs and the capabilities that Dell has, than the Dell that you may know or the Dell that you may not know. I want to spotlight the great partnership that we have here with the City of Round Rock. Also want to discuss the commitments that we have for programs for entrepreneurs, specifically female entrepreneurs and veteran entrepreneurs, as well as fast growth entrepreneurs as well. And also the commitment that we have to creating a diverse and inclusive company. That commitment is in local communities just like Round Rock, as well as communities all around the globe. So Dell actually moved to Round Rock in 1994, and Mayor Morgan had referenced that. I had the opportunity to join Dell in 1999, and I started as a sales rep, taking calls on the queue. And in those last 2 decades, there's been a lot of change. Just to give you guys some sense of that, in 1999, the population of Round Rock was about 60,000. Today, it's over 120,000. During that same period of time, the revenue of Dell was about $18 billion. Today, it's about $80 billion. So there's been a lot of change and growth, and also we now have, as you mentioned, about 14,000 or 15,000 employees across Texas, many of which are based in Round Rock. To put in perspective about the impact that Dell has, the economic footprint contributed by Dell to the Texas gross state product was $10 billion in 2016, which represents about 0.62% of the Texas gross state product. And then beyond economics, there's also a lot of history and commitment to supporting our local communities. Over the last 18 months, there were 5,000 team members that volunteered here in Round Rock. To put in perspective, that's about a third of our total Texas population. And that equates to 35,000 volunteer hours and donating over $540,000 to the City of Round Rock. So let's talk about the presence here and my role specifically. So as Amanda mentioned, I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Senior Vice President of Customer Advocacy. And I'm really fortunate to wake up every day and think about the programs that enable our customers and our employees and our partners around the globe. I don't know how many of you know that about 2 years ago, Dell merged with an organization called EMC. Anyone familiar with that? Yeah, that's a Boston-based company. And there are many benefits that have occurred as a result of that integration. In addition, Michael had the foresight that when you have an integration of that size and complexity, which was the largest in technology history, a lot of times organizations focus inwardly. And what's made Dell Dell, what we're passionate about, is our customers. Michael always says we have big ears. We spend more time listening. Because when we listen, we can understand what our customers' outcomes that they want to achieve, what their goals and objectives are. We can be a trusted advisor. And so he had the foresight to ask at that time our Chief Marketing Officer, Karen Kitos, to become our Chief Customer Officer. And it was an incremental investment. I had the privilege of aligning with our global commercial business and actually building the programs that allow us to serve both our customers and partners, as well as hosting some functions. Some of those functions that I host on my team are entrepreneurship, female entrepreneurship, social listening, and various other programs to support our team members and our customers around the globe. We also host in the Chief Customer Office customer imperatives. And the reason we host them, I'll tell you in a moment here, is diversity, inclusion, corporate social responsibility, sustainability, and giving. Is because there's not one organization or not one company in the world that we meet with that isn't also challenged and struggling and prioritizing those areas. So to really bring the best of everybody to work and their whole selves to work. And so those are programs that we host to be able to prioritize it in our company. Actually, yesterday, we celebrated CX Day, Customer Experience Day. It's an industry-wide celebration of the meaningful and differentiated programs that our customers and that our employees and team members create for our customers. It was hosted by the Chief Customer Office, but anybody that is in the room that's an entrepreneur knows that it takes a village. And so a lot of the work that we do is with and through other organizations. We really want to help our customers grow and influence the global economy, and entrepreneurs are the world's job creators and also value customers. So I had an opportunity to meet with Ms. Cruz and some of the students, and welcome to all of the students. I think it was a great point earlier that it's not just future entrepreneurs, it's current entrepreneurs, but it is the future of our workforce. And we want to make sure that there's an opportunity to embrace that talent as entrepreneurs are responsible for developing and creating millions and millions of jobs around the globe. And entrepreneurship has been in Dell's DNA since it was started. You mentioned actually, Mayor, that just about 35 years ago down the street, Michael created it out of his dorm room. And so to work for an iconic entrepreneur and really be able to bring that DNA through everything that we do, we like to say that we're the world's largest startup. And entrepreneurship is a part of everything that we do, right? The willingness to take risks, the willingness to enable our teams to be successful, to try new things, and ultimately those contributions now have allowed us to focus programs that also help our customers. An example of that is the Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network, or GWEN. Is anybody here familiar with that? So that's been going on for over a decade now, and it's actually a program that enables us to bring women together from all over the world. So far, we've impacted over 5,000 women in over 25 countries. And it's really a winning strategy for us. It's something that we're committed to. It actually supports entrepreneurs as one of the ladies had mentioned, it's access to capital, access to mentors, access to resources, access to technology. And one of the key areas is access to capital. Funding continues to be the biggest enabler or barrier for women-owned businesses. And that's consistent across the board, but specifically women are underrepresented in both media and VC funding. And so as a partnership with Amy Millman of Springboard Enterprise, we created a program called Women Funding Women. This is 600 entrepreneurs and 300 women investors in 7 cities, and they actually discuss alternate paths for funding. We've estimated that VCs, if they had invested equally in female and male startups over the past 5 years, it would have made an extra $85 million. So there is the performance of the female-owned companies is substantial. More broadly, women play a critical role and contribution in every aspect of Dell's business. Our employees, our leaders, our customers, our suppliers, and our partners. Much of the collective success in supporting entrepreneurs has been the mutual commitment to global policy change. So it's not just the programs, and a couple examples of that is our effort around Sustainable Development Goal 8 with the United Nations, and also also the U.S. Small Business Act to help women and minority entrepreneurs compete in the marketplace. We also launched We Cities in 2016, which is Women Entrepreneur Cities. It started off where it was predominantly analysis and understanding really what does it take to create that ecosystem and that environment for small businesses and entrepreneurs and female entrepreneurs to thrive. You had mentioned, everyone that had spoken today had really talked about the relationships and the ecosystem and the commitment, and that's a big part of it. But we actually were able to take 50 cities. While Round Rock was not included in that, there's the operational and enabling environments that support women-owned businesses, driving a purpose of arming the city leaders and the policymakers with data and insights that really enable that key learning. And from that, we'd be able to create 10 city blueprints. These blueprints can be shared amongst all cities. And the action is, what can the city do to actually improve the ecosystem for female entrepreneurs? We also have programs to support veterans. So, Amy, as you had mentioned, the work around 1 million cups, and it actually creates that collaborative, supportive environment that allows CEOs to bring forth what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, and how do we actually really enable that success. We were able to actually pull together a CEO circle, and that established a cohort of 8 successful veteran CEOs, and we partnered them with Dell executives on areas that could improve and enhance and develop their business. And so it was actually a one-on-one mentoring session, which proved to be very successful. Are there any existing veterans or active military in the audience? So first of all, thank you for your service. And we've also found that veterans make unbelievable entrepreneurs because the grit and resiliency and tenacity and leadership commitment that's required on the front lines is the same tenets as required in starting a business. So congratulations and thank you to all of you. We also have a partnership with Bunker Labs, and we had a muster event across America. This was actually 300 veterans, military spouses, transitioning service members. It's a combination of reservist guards, corporate partners, and we bring together those ideas to develop best practices. Just recently, Dell was recognized by Military Time as the best for vets employer. We also have a veteran ERG with over 1,200 members around the globe, with over half of them actually in Central Texas. The other thing that's really important to us that was mentioned is our focus on diversity and inclusion. So Mark, as Amanda mentioned, is an initiative for leaders who are committed to achieving equality in the workplace. Mark stands for Men Advocating Real Change, and it delves evolved to many advocating real change that oftentimes, some of the people are so scared to say the wrong thing they don't say anything. And establishing that platform, that footprint in an immersive experience to be able to understand privilege and unconscious bias and the impact that we can all make in the workplace in which we serve. That actually started with Michael being on the Catalyst board. That launched in March of 2014. There were 20 global executives. I was honored to be one of those 20. And from that, prior to the integration 2 years ago at EMC, we had over 70% of our executives trained. Post-integration, we were close to about 40%, and we're committed at the end of this year to have 100% of our executives trained going through the MARC program. We also have solutions that enable our small business customers. So we actually have an advisor program, which creates a one-on-one personal technology consulting. As we talk about access to capital, access to technology, a lot of entrepreneurs that create these businesses, their forte or area of strength might not be technology. And so that's an area of concern or apprehension for them. So how do we actually create a one-on-one experience so they have the opportunity to really learn and we can help them be successful? And we also leverage this as a key market strategy. And there's areas that we actually have programs to help our entrepreneurs. And part of that is being founded by, as I mentioned, an iconic entrepreneur. Dell's a unique position. We truly have the end-to-end portfolio. The depth and breadth of our portfolio and the capabilities is an entrepreneur can buy their first PC from us all the way to a digital transformation for an organization or a
city or a state that has hundreds of thousands of employees. And if you look at how much Round Rock has changed over the years, we continue to partner and committed to Round Rock. So we've been a part of the Digital Cities initiatives. We've actually, if you look at Round Rock Smart Parking, the website, online bill pay, this is all powered by Dell. Our account executive Melissa is here, who works closely with Round Rock ISD and is really engaging the future workforce to help us as we find opportunities to allow kids to be creative and give them experiences also outside of the classroom in partnership with us. And all cities and businesses have their challenges, but it's local entrepreneurs that have the opportunity to really have a purpose-driven initiative that we feel that we can contribute to. Amy, thank you for what you said earlier. And as the VP of Community Enhancement for the Round Rock Chamber of Commerce, I know you made exceptional progress across 4 key pillars, so thank you, around business climate, entrepreneurship, infrastructure, and talent development. And we look forward to how the entrepreneur community can further foster with Dell, specifically in Round Rock, so thank you. We work hard to create exceptional customer experiences, and for the local entrepreneurship environment here and ecosystem, I think those same principles can be leveraged and enable us to listen to you, to partner with you, and understand how we can continue the legacy and success that we've had over the last 20 years and 30 years, and continue that together. So thank you for the opportunity, thank you for the time and partnership, and if there was time for questions, I'm happy to take some questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Well, I'm going to ask one on behalf of the audience, if you don't mind. So what I think is really interesting, especially for entrepreneurs and people who are running small businesses, that connection to their customer is super important. So can you talk a little bit about your experience working in the CCO, some of the strategies that Dell uses that they might be able to implement in their own business?
So several areas is that customer voice is either through formal listening posts and actually informal listening posts. We actually manage that through what we call NPS, Net Promoter Score, which is essentially the likelihood for a customer to recommend. We take thousands of verbatim feedback and also the actual score that the customers provide. And that acts as a closed loop working program and foundation for us to improve upon areas of opportunity. So, well, we want to hear what we're doing well. We really want to understand where we can improve. And the way that we do that is, first of all, is we interact with customers in forums like this, in executive business settings, also with our account executives. But when we're able to aggregate that information across the U.S. or globally, and we are able to see trends, that's where we're really able to get really valuable insights. So I'll share with you that in the last survey we ran, we had tens of thousands of responses. And what customers tell us, if you look through all of the information to really pull out the meaning, is that there's 3 key tenets. It's really accountability, consistency, and expertise. Our customers expect consistency, the same engagement, the same individual, and really develop that relationship that we've spoken about so much today. The second one is accountability. We know that we'll make mistakes. It's how we respond to those mistakes that set us apart. So thinking about the most meaningful relationships you have, some of them have been born out of conflict or an area that a company could have treated you better. And if they respond and meet or exceed your expectations, there's an opportunity to elevate the relationship to a whole new level. So when our customers need us or there's kind of trauma, we want to respond in a way that demonstrates the value and honor that we have in our customers. And the last one is expertise. Our customers expect that our teams know their business, know what they want to accomplish, know the outcomes that they want, and are also able to have expertise across our organization to bring forth solutions and capabilities that drive outcomes. We believe that organizations and business initiatives and IT is an enabler to achieve those goals. And so as we can really partner with businesses to understand the business impact, to serve their customers, to create new revenue streams, to enter new markets, that's where we can really bring value to customers.
Awesome. Oh, I see you got people excited.
Yes.
Bill Combs and I are working on a new program with apologies to Thomas Jefferson We call it the Second Career Rebellion. And it's for people who want to start a second career as a boss instead of a worker or a manager. And with wonder of the young ones, what is the initiative that you're working on for people who are looking at a second career? Because Bill Combs and I think that's very important.
Yeah, we agree. We actually have several programs right now. We have programs for veterans where we actually committed, I think it's up to 4,000 employees that will be brought on, and we're actually tracking ahead of that over the next several years. We also have commitments to and programs to reintroduce women back into the workforce. After maybe women taking time off for family, they come back in and be reintroduced, and we have formal programs that are driving that. So we're committed to not just diversity and inclusion, but actually how we can have more of a diverse workforce throughout years of your career, and making sure that we have those programs. So we have several. I can follow up with several sites that we actually support that with, but it's a combination of late in career, and then we also have programs with a lot of universities. So we want to be able to really understand and shape the curriculum that students are facing. We have programs where we can have internships. Those internships then lead to actually influencing the curriculum and studies that students have, and then we have programs to actually hire them. So there's some universities we work with around sustainability programs. There's some that we work with around entrepreneurship programs. There's varying programs that we have that are very active in K-12 school districts and universities around the world.
We're looking at over 50, people over 50, so I'm hoping you're not forgetting them.
No, but that's all part of what I was mentioning around with veterans and females that are in the workforce.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For the entrepreneurs in the group, we're always looking at what industries to kind of look at for ideas and things like that. From your perspective, what are the areas where you want to see more entrepreneurship, or what are really good growth areas for ideas that entrepreneurs can pursue? I don't know, where do you see that's kind of the world heading, and where do you think entrepreneurs can make an impact?
You look at the digital transformation that's occurring around the globe. It's like all companies in some essence are software companies and technology companies, and that drives efficiency in organizations. It provides scale, and so we feel that technology sector is growing, and there's a lot of opportunities for advancement and differentiation within that space. What really enables digital transformation is going to be really enabled with workforce transformation, IT, and security. If we speak with customers around the globe, the number one priority is security, right? And especially, in schools, it's cybersecurity as well as physical security. But there's no industry that isn't prioritizing security. There's also prioritization around data protection. Dell's proud to be able to, house more data in the world than any other organization. And we also see that there's a lot of opportunity around IT efficiency in all of its forms. So the transformations occurring for all businesses and the relevancy that can drive. We see there's a lot of opportunity in technology, but we also have amazing customers around the globe that serve patients, that serve students, in financial and banking and pretty much every industry out there. I think there's an opportunity really as there's so much growth going on right now to capitalize in a differentiated way in many of those areas. Yes, sir.
So you were talking about building an ecosystem. Of course, I think that 1 million cups is an amazing ecosystem, or at least a part of that here at Round Rock. What is at least maybe a couple of ways, besides of course coming back next month to 1 million cups and participating, ways that people in this room can either get involved with Dell or involved with Round Rock even more as, again, some simple steps that they could do to be able to help that ecosystem grow?
Yeah. I don't know what you've previously spoken with the team about, but I think there's areas, if your business, for example, if there's an opportunity to help you with the advisory services that I mentioned in small business, that's an opportunity to get involved. As we get involved with schools and community colleges, there's opportunity to get involved there. It's pretty, when you say it's pretty broad, but there are, for example, I don't know if you're specifically a veteran, we have programs that you can get engaged with locally here as well. There's many programs that we have. I'd love to speak with you after and understand, specifically how we can do that. But I think that you've probably had some opportunities maybe to share with the team that there's a lot of programs we have, and I think maybe we could share all those programs. You then have an opportunity to say, yeah, I'd like to participate in
conventional advice, but we have all these great programs that are a little bit more easier to access and engage. But the other thing I would say too is maintain that network both with Dell and with other companies, because a lot of this stuff, if you're an entrepreneur, you're persistent. Timing is everything. I know Alan showed a picture of Mike McKim. He owns Kube Coffee down in Austin, and he became one of our influencers literally because he attended a CEO circle for Bunker Labs, and then he was top of mind when we needed to find someone. I recommended his name, and it started this whole rolling in motion. So I think the other thing is just keeping up those networks. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but next year it might lead to something amazing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In specific, how can high school entrepreneurs connect with Dell?
You want to talk about some of the programs that are with Jeremy?
Yeah, so through our giving program, and we do some work with junior achievement as well. Those are ways to engage with Dell. I think also, and again, this might be more of the unconventional approach, but I think that works sometimes much better. Go on LinkedIn and find people who work at Dell that you think are interesting and ask them for coffee. And I will say 9 times out of 10, they will meet up with you because they really do care about your growth. And honestly, too, people like being the expert and talking a little bit about their expertise. So I guarantee that will be my actual suggestion for engaging with Dell employees is find someone who you think is really interesting and invite them to coffee.
And I even had a chance to speak with Ms. Cruz for an opportunity that maybe there's even a chance if you guys have specific content that you'd like to have presentations on. We'd love to find the presenters and come and speak in your classes and in your schools. So it might be specifically around the broader topic of entrepreneurship, but it could be around logistics and supply. It could be around operations. It could be sales. It could be marketing. If you say these are the things that our students are really interested in, and as they're developing and growing their companies, here's an area that they really want some advice, let us know, and we'd love to participate.
I think this will be our last question.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right, so I don't know if you'll know the answer, but you say women-owned businesses. What percentage of the company, because statistically they like grants, federal grants have to be 51%. How does Dell look at that percentage? If there was like a 25% or a 30% owner who's a woman, who's also the CEO, would that person be able to participate in that? Because I work with a lot of women CEOs and I want to make sure I can empower them through Dell versus the typical 51%. That's harder to find unless, I don't know. For me, I find less of those.
Yeah, well, actually, as I mentioned, some of the work we're doing on policy had been specifically around, starting with Goal 8, and then the Small Business Act, which allows us to try to influence the fact that if you're, in your example, a female-founded company, and as you get VC funding, that exceeds 51%, and the VCs are men, then that changes your status to no longer being a woman-run company. And so we're trying, one, to impact that policy. I think the other piece of it, though, is for, like, example, the Dwayne program, right? So Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network is for female founders. And there's an opportunity if you just go online, there's a nomination form. And so if it's founded by a woman, we want to be able to support that organization. So there's not clearly a line of 51% or 60%. Because we understand that those businesses evolve. But again, the concept, the point, is to enable that access to technology, access to capital, mentorship, leadership. Ultimately, there's big underrepresentation, right? And specifically in female entrepreneurship, where less than 10% of all media highlights female-owned businesses, and less than 10% of all VCs are enabled support female-owned businesses. So we feel that we have an opportunity to really impact that, not just locally, but broadly. But it's going to be beyond just the program. It's going to be about impacting policy.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you again for the time and the opportunity. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
At 1 Million Cups, you get to join the 1 Million Cups Mug Club, so you have this lovely NFT as well. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to close things out. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I expect, based off of the audience today, that we will see an increase in people at our next event. Our next event is November 7th. It's Smarter Reality. And it's actually a gentleman that I was in Leadership Round Rock with, so I'm excited to get to see Frank present. Our events right now are at the Hilton Garden Inn, which is right next to Cracker Barrel on I-35. So we are looking at possibly moving over to the chamber, we'll see, to this location soon. December 5th is to be determined. We do have several applications in the pipeline right now. It's just a matter of picking the next presenter for December. You can obviously find information for Round Rock at the 1 Million Cups Round Rock page. So I encourage you to go out there, check us out. If you want to be an organizer, you can go to the 1 Million Cups Round Rock page and select on if you're interested in presenting. So you can sign up to present at the 1 Million Cups Round Rock website. Stay connected with us, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, use the hashtag 1MCRR for up-to-date information. And like Amy said, I think Amanda said, today's event and all of our prior events are streamed live on Facebook, so you can go back and check that out. We also have, I think, some of them out on YouTube if you want to check them out as well and see what the past presenters were. And with that, I want to thank everybody for coming out today and supporting 1 Million Cups, supporting the city of Round Rock, the Round Rock Chamber, and just everybody involved in this. Super excited about the school, the students showing up today. It really shows that we have a ground-up opportunity here, and with the support of organizations like Dell and all the other great companies in Round Rock, we will continue to lead the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Williamson County and continue to be the driving force. So thank you everybody for coming out today. Presenters and Mayor and Alan, if you could stay here, we're going to do a quick picture in the front with everybody, and you guys are free to go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.